Hey dolls. Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. I feel like it's been forever since I did a Thursday live, but I definitely did one last week. Like this week has been so active that I'm just like, wow, I'm here. Y'all, I'm in this lovely beach house. If you caught my morning motivation on Tuesday, you saw me on the rooftop terrace of this house. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, you can literally see. Hey Shay, let me put y'all up on the screen. Yes, go ahead and like this live stream as you come in. Like Michelle. Michelle understood the assignment. She went ahead and like the live as you come in, like the live stream. It lets YouTube know that this is content people love. Also, subscribe to the channel if you just happen to meander around here and catch, my live stream. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. We spill the tea. We talk about business. We talk about faith. We talk about life. We talk about all of the things that I'm actually about to start adding more like social commentary about the faith and taboo topics and stuff on my channel. So you don't want to miss that. Also, thank you. Yes, I'm giving you ginger. Hey, Shay, let me put you on the screen. Giving ginger, giving fall. If it's anything I'm gonna do is change my hair. So because hair is like an accessory to me. I love to change it. I love to keep it fresh. But tonight, as you see on the title, we're talking about dating and therapy. So I need you guys to share this out. I see that, I'm reading and saying what I'm reading, but I need you guys to share this out. I need you guys to invite, bring your opinions, bring your thoughts, and let's converse. Like, I want the chat to be lit. I want to see comments. I want to see opinions. I want to see all of the things, okay? Because this is not a lecture. This is definitely just more so me sharing my thoughts. And we're just having some good conversation, some good old, just tribe time, all right? The Del tribe. Also, I'm going to have announcements at the end again, but I got to get this out early. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers. I'm at 917 now. I really feel like I have 920 or 921, but YouTube keeps snatching my subscribers. But I need you guys to smash that subscribe button, okay? Like, if you got multiple Google accounts, log into all of them and subscribe. Share it with your auntie. It's free for you. All you got to do is subscribe. That's all you got to do. Subscribe. It's free. It helps me a ton, and it's really going to be able to bless my life. So it's free to show love with the like button. It's free to subscribe. That's all you got to do. And the rest is up to me to deliver, to show up. So thank you for everyone that has subscribed thus far. I can't even believe I'm almost at 1,000. Like, I've been doing this for 2 years and it seemed like I would never get here. So I'm just grateful for every subscription, every like, every comment, every share. Y'all been sharing like crazy. I see it in the analytics. So I thank y'all. Just so appreciative. So thank you guys for real. Yes, go get you a snack, go get you a drink. Okay, get comfortable. All right. Like, I have this set up on vacation. So you gotta definitely get you something. I even got myself a little hard lemonade, y'all. Like, I don't drink like that, but I do enjoy a little mixed, canned drink or something like that. So tonight, like I said, we're talking about dating and therapy. I'm gonna give it just a few more seconds because YouTube be slacking on the notifications. It definitely is about to be lit. Also, I apologize if you hear my family in the back because there's only 2 levels to this Airbnb, and downstairs are like the bedrooms and stuff. And I thought about setting up in the bedroom, but it was kind of tight with the light and stuff. So I apologize. Christian might run across the screen. You might hear someone, trying to yell under their breath or something, but just bear with me. I'm going to try to keep this as centered as possible. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And like I said, as people come in, they come in. But I decided to do this topic because actually I feel like it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. I was doing my Thursday live about dating. So every 2 weeks, I try to do an upload and a live stream about dating, especially through cuffing season, which is basically going to be until around Valentine's Day. Because I'm like, hey, this is the time of year people are looking to date, or at least up the ante with their dating game. They're, getting in new relationships and all that. So I'm like, let me share some tea, some gems, some wisdom about dating, because your sis over here done been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. Like, I got a lot of dating experience. So I was sharing green flags that you should look for when you're dating, particularly a woman looking for green flags in a man. And Shay brought up the question, like, what do you think about dating and therapy? Like, should it be a requirement? So I gave my little 2 cents in that live, but I was like, this got to be a deeper discussion because that was a good question. That was a really good question, Shay. So thank you for tonight's topic. And also, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask it because I might just make it a video. Like, you guys ask me a lot of good questions in conversation. And I'll be thinking to myself, other people probably want to know this too, or want to hear this conversation. So never be afraid to suggest topics in the comments, ask questions in the comments, because I legit will like make a video about it if I feel like I got enough to say and people want to hear about it. So yeah. So I have 5 points I think for y'all. I'll probably end up going on a tangent or two. You know how we do around here. But I will say that my overarching point or thought is that therapy should happen regardless, whether you're dating or not. I'm a huge advocate for therapy. I truly believe that everybody needs therapy. I don't care how you think your life went or how it's going or whatever or how you feel. I am a huge advocate, and I think that everybody should be seeing a therapist or a counselor, because I will use therapy and counseling interchangeably in this live stream. I know that there are slight differences and there's different types of therapy and all that, but I'm just going to use it interchangeably. So if you hear me say therapy, or I mean counseling, if you hear me say counseling, I mean therapy, for the sake of this live. But yes, everybody needs it, Michelle, because it's just, I'm gonna get into why, but I believe everybody needs it. So when it comes to dating, I feel like that's just icing on the cake. So you should already be having this show in motion. And now that you're dating, it's just like, hey, like I'm dating and I'm in therapy. So my first point is that we all have traumas and things that we need to deal with, even if you feel like your life has been pretty calm, cool, and collected. Because at the end of the day, you might not have had a super tumultuous background. You might not have had to beat like a million and one odds. You might have actually grew up in a happy home, normal, what we consider normal, like the nuclear family and whatnot and all that. And, loving family, close knit, went to the best schools your parents could find. And, life was just pretty great. It was your average life. But we all have witnessed things. We all have gone through things, even if it seems minuscule to you or seems minute, where it really affects your life. Everything that you go through, everything that you witness, everything that you have done or whatever, or had close proximity to, affects you, like whether you feel it or not. Even the happy home, even because it might affect you in the sense that you might not have a realistic worldview on certain things, or you might not be as flexible, or whatever. But it affects you in one way or the other, in some way, shape, or form. And so that's why I said my overarching point that I feel like everybody should be in therapy, because it's just good. Like and the thing is, you will never know all that you've been through or all that you struggle with or your weak spots until you actually get up in a therapist's office. Like it's crazy. I haven't even gone to like uh an independent therapist, like like a private practice or whatever. I've done it through churches and I've done it through online services. And just the bit that I've done, which I do plan to actually go to a private practice in the very near future, just because I'm like, this is something I've been wanting to do. But just a little that I have done, I'm like, yo, like I got problems, but it's very enlightening. It's very eye-opening, and you realize all the things that you might do to self-sabotage, to hold yourself back, how you can just really have a negative mindset and you don't even realize it. Like it's crazy. It's really crazy how that can end up working out. And so that's my first point. It affects the decisions you make. It affects how you live your life. It affects everything, even if your life seemed like it was pretty average, pretty decent. So my second point is, contrary to popular belief, we have a responsibility to play in our healing journey, and when it comes to finding joy, like true joy, and I would say happiness, because some people make it seem like you can't have joy and happiness. I believe you can have both. And that God wants you to have both. I don't think you have to sacrifice one for the other, even though like happiness typically is associated with more temporal things, like it's fleeting. I do believe that you can have happiness as well as joy, and that you can definitely have joy, like no matter what your circumstances look like, you're just not phased by it to the point where you do enter a deep like negative mindset or whatever, or a defeatist mindset. But needless to say, I feel like when it comes to dating, a lot of us have this belief that our partner has to make us happy. And I get it. Like, I get it to an extent. Like, obviously, you don't want to be with someone that makes you mad, that gets on your nerves. Like, you definitely don't want that. But they should not have the weight of, like, I need to make this person happy. You should be an active participant in your life and say, you know what? I'm not happy right now. I don't have joy. I'm struggling with this. I'm struggling with that. I need to seek help for that, because I want to be able to come to a relationship or a dating scenario with my best self in that moment, because we should always be trying to ascend, internally, and spiritually. We should always be trying to be better. Like, you're never going to arrive, quote unquote. It's a lifelong journey, but you should be actively striving every day and looking for ways to improve. So if you find that, like, okay, I'm doing the things that people suggest, I'm doing the self-care, I'm doing all these things, it's still not getting me there, then I don't think there's anything wrong with therapy or counseling. And a lot of us in the faith in particular, um, we tend to have this unspoken kind of thought. Sometimes it's very spoken, but a lot of times it's unspoken, where it's like, if you seek therapy, that your faith isn't strong enough. Like, and granted, we know God can do all things. God has got me out of some of the fiery pits that I thought I would never get out of. But I don't think that you seeking therapy and saying, you know what, let me go and actually seek a professional, is you throwing in the towel or putting up your white flag and having a defeatist mindset and saying, God can't help me out. God might very well help you through that therapist. And especially nowadays, there are Christian therapists, where they can understand your faith, they can understand your convictions, they can understand things that you're dealing with, but they also can still give you the practical advice that you need. It can very well go hand in hand. And so you have to make sure that you're taking responsibility, because to put that weight on your partner is a lot. Like, it's a lot. I don't know about y'all, but I've been in dating relationships, excuse me, where I really felt like I was Dr. Phil. Like, I really felt like I was that guy's therapist. I felt like, if heaven forbid I told him I'm not interested in him, his world was going to fall apart. I was honestly concerned. Like, I felt almost trapped, and that's not a good position to be in. You might really care about somebody. You might really want to be with them. But when you feel like, dang, like, I can't bust a move, I can't shuck and jive a little bit, and without worrying about their mental health, like, it's just not the best position. And nobody strives to be in that position. Now, if somebody cares about you, if they love you, they'll want to help you. They'll want to stick it out. And that's me. Like, if I care about somebody, I want to help you. I want to stick it out. But it's a huge burden to bear, especially when I've got my own things I'm trying to walk through. I've got my own things I'm trying to deal with. And so now it's like, I got to be your everything. I got to be your girlfriend. I got to be, your therapist. I got to be your cheerleader. Like, it's too much. Even in marriage, because in marriage, the weight is definitely heavier and there's a lot more that we're responsible for. But even in marriage, it's a huge weight to bear. And it's just not practical, because we're humans, we're flawed. We got our own baggage we're bringing. We got our own crosses to bear. And so now for me to have to be everything for you is just seem too much. And then when you're not even trying, because honestly, there are some people that, and there's levels to even this part of the conversation, because there are people that are clinically depressed. And so if you're on that end of the spectrum, people might say, oh, you're not trying, keep your head up, you can keep it going. But there's like a whole nother can of worms to open up when it comes to that deals with like your hormones and your the chemical imbalance in your body. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff. So that's not a cut and dry conversation. So I'm not talking about people that are clinically depressed. I'm talking more so about the people that can actually like get up and do something about it, but they choose not to, because it's like they almost like the pity party. Like, I want you to feel bad for me. I want you to stick around, and I want you to feel that weight of responsibility to be my joy, be my peace, be my everything type of thing. That is part of the reason I want therapy required, because I can't fix anyone else. It's exhausting. Right. Like, I'm not Jesus Christ. Okay. Jesus already came and did it. He paid it all on the cross. So I can't do it. I can't do it. And the thing is, like, it's just going to cause friction in the relationship, because now I'm not really looking at you with the lovey-dovey eyes and stuff, especially in the beginning when it's supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be lighthearted. Now I'm looking at you and I have some, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I'm annoyed, I'm tired, I'm broke, busted, and disgusted. And I'm just like, why am I with you? It takes the joy out of the relationship for both of us. It's just not a good look. So, don't take advantage of someone's like love and care for you. Like, oh, if they love me, they'll stick it out. And that's another thing about society too. We make it seem like people have to take you as you are, like you can't change. And I get that too. Like, the essence of who you are, the foundation of who you are shouldn't change. Like, I shouldn't be, my core of Rondell shouldn't change from man to man, relationship to relationship. I should have a solid foundation. But there are things I'm going to have to change if I want a relationship to work. And it might look different in each relationship. With one guy, I might have to change ABC. The next guy, I might have to change XYZ. But it comes with the territory. So that whole notion and school of thought of like, you got to take me as I am, they really don't, boo. Like, I'm sorry, sis. They really don't have to take you as you are. Nobody has to do anything but pay taxes and pass away. That's the only thing that we have no control over. And so other than that, it's like, I don't have to deal with it. So that's point number 2. Point number 3 or talking point number three is that therapy really helps with self-awareness. So like I said earlier, the instances where I've done it, I really had moments of being self-aware where it's like I'm not all of that in a bag of chips, because that's something that we tend to think a lot too. We really think highly of ourselves, like way more highly of ourselves than we ought to a lot of the time. And I'm not saying you need to be sitting here like, woe is me, I suck at this, I'm not qualified for that. Like, self-pity is not glorifying to God or yourself. And honestly, self-pity is like the opposite side of the coin of arrogance, because arrogance is like having too highly of a view of yourself. Like, I am just that chick, like y'all better ask about me. I don't know if y'all remember the Tiana Taylor song from back in the day, Google Me Baby. Like, that's arrogance, like Google me boo. And confidence cool, but arrogance is a whole nother level. But self-pity is like you almost are like trying to get the validation from people from your self-loathing, if that makes sense. So it's like, oh, I suck. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. Oh, I'll never, like, it's like if someone gives you a compliment, they're like, oh, you're so beautiful. You're like, oh, no, I'm not. I'm so ugly, this and that. It's like, just say thank you and take take the compliment. So needless to say, therapy helps with self-awareness. I realized, and I didn't even realize this stuff in therapy, but I know when I get into the therapy situation that I'm looking for, I would definitely be able to recognize a lot of this stuff. But I know for a fact I'm not patient. I know y'all see patient Dell online and stuff like that, but I'm very impatient. I have a short fuse, I get over things quickly, but I get annoyed quickly as well. Like, I don't really hold on to stuff, but boy, do I get annoyed quickly. What's another one for me? Lord, you hear my child yelling in the background. I can be a perfectionist, which can lead to massive amounts of procrastination, because I'm like, if it's not going to be exactly how I want it, I'm just not going to do it. And then I start to feel down on myself, and I do exhibit self-pity because now I see everybody else has progressed, and now I'm sitting here and I'm like, dang, I haven't done anything I want to do. But that's because my perfectionism led me to procrastinate, and the procrastination kept me from accomplishing what I wanted to do. So now I'm looking at other people that just did it, and I'm feeling some type of way when it's like, you could have just done it too. So, like, it's real. The perfectionism is so bad, Shay. Like, it's such a hard thing to break, and I'm learning to just do it. And it's really hard for me to just do it, especially as a content creator, because it's like you get used to always aiming for perfection, because that's what people want to see. And my mom did a live stream last week. Was it last week? Yeah, last week, about had Instagram run its course. And we touched on that briefly, like about the perfectionism and all that associated with social media. And when social media and content is your career, like for me, it gets real in these streets, like the perfection is really it's really bad. And also in dating, if you're doing therapy individually, because I honestly believe that you should have your individual therapist, and then when you're dating, like when you're an official couple, you should have a couples therapist, because there are certain things that you're going to want to say, like aside from your partner, and where you need to do your own like healing and self-awareness and stuff, and so do they. And then you guys as a couple need to be able to come together with a third party and say, like, this is how I'm feeling, this is what I'm struggling with, this is how he's feeling, so I think you should do both. And I think that would really just help you reach like a really, really good place in your dating relationship. But I remember when I was engaged to my ex-fiance, sorry, the awkward silence as I take a sip of my cocktail. Sorry, y'all. But I remember when me and my ex-fiance were engaged, and we did premarital counseling in my church, and my old church in Maryland. And they opened it up for singles, they opened it up for dating people, and they opened it up obviously for people who were engaged. We were just dating at the time, and then we got engaged like during that process or whatever. And so I remember after we did that first class, like we were in the class, and this class was really thorough. I love my old church for this. They were ahead of their time when they did this, because a lot of churches weren't doing it to the level that they did it. And I know because I talked to some of my married friends, and they're like, "Oh wow, y'all did way more than we even did in our counseling," But they gave us binders, they gave us textbooks, they gave us homework. We had projects, we had assignments, we had to meet with the pastors. Like it was like college. I felt like I was in college. And so we took the first class, and then we were like, "Okay, yeah, let's go home and do the homework or whatever." Y'all, we were up in the bedroom talking for like 5, 6 hours, well into the morning, trying to cover different topics. And each question led to like a deeper conversation. And then we'd bring up something to be like, well, what do you think about that? And this and that. And it was like so intricate. Like, for example, one of the questions for the first assignment was list the top 5 things you want to accomplish in the next 3 years in order of priority or something like that. It might have been 3 years, 5 years, whatever, but that was the gist of the question. And so I listed marriage and then kids and then something with career were my top three. He listed career and then marriage and then no, he listed career, something else. Marriage is number three and kids are like number four. We got into a 5 hour discussion because of where we numbered it. I'm like, why are marriage and kids number 3 and 4 for you? Like, what's up? What's going on? I thought we were on the same page. Like, mine are 1 and 2. Why is it 3 and 4 for you? Why is this coming before that? Because at this point in my life, I had a really, really good career. In the government, I was set. I had my place. I had my cars. I was good. Like the only thing left for me to do was to get the husband, the 2.5 kids, the white picket fence, and the dog. Everything else in my life was straight. And so I'm like, let's go. Like we've been together. We're engaged now. We literally planning weddings and stuff. Like, what's up? Why is it number three? And we got into such a deep discussion. We were tossing ideas back and forth. We were wrestling, not like literally wrestling, but just wrestling in conversation with each other until probably about 3 in the morning. So we were too tired to finish the assignment, but thankfully we had a couple days before we had to meet with the pastors. And we woke up the next morning and we just looked at each other and I was like, I feel like I really know you now. Like that was a good assignment. Like, yeah, we kind of got into some disagreements and stuff, but we felt it. Like it was in the air. It's like we're closer now. Like we would have never guessed to have that conversation had it not been for the counseling that we received. And so that's one of the things about therapy that I love is that it really shows you things that you would never think about or talk about or whatever. And as a couple, like I said, it really can either bring you guys closer or it can unveil the elephant in the room that you've been trying to ignore. Because a lot of times we know when someone's not for us, but we want it to work so bad because you're tired of dating, you're ready to have your boo, you're ready to sail off into the sunset. But you knew deep down that wasn't the person for you. So therapy reveals that plain as day to where it's like, I can't even ignore this anymore. I know this person isn't for me. Like, I know who I am. I realize who they are. And I realize that this is just not healthy if I want something that's going to last and glorify God and honor me as well. Let me see what you guys are saying. Yes, I need an outlet other than family and friends because they can't let grudges go. That's actually one of my points too. That's coming up, sis, because I got examples for that one. Y'all know I stay with the story times. Oh, yeah, Shay, I can't tell them anything anyway. Okay, I just talked with my mom about this last night. I was like, family don't be letting things go. Like, you and that person would get over it, and they're like, remember what they did 6 years ago? I'm still mad at my cousin's husband for something she forgave him about years ago. I'm working on letting it go. I'm telling you, and I'm like that with my brother's girlfriends who he dates or has dated. I'm like, yeah, I still can't get over the fact that she did this or that, like, because you love your people, and so when you see them all kikiing with them or whatever, you're like, like, I can't believe that they over here just sweeping it under the rug, acting like it's all good. So the fourth point that I have is therapy provides a safe and secure outlet for you to vent and share things. So yeah, like that point I said, because family and friends, they're not going to let it go. Like oftentimes we want to rely on family and friends for stuff. We want to run to mama, run to our cousins, tell them things, whatever, our siblings. I get it. Like they're your family. You're used to confiding in them. But when you let that thing go, as we see in the comments, they still gonna hold on to it. They're still going to be like, no, I'm not over it. That's not okay. Like, and then you're in a tizzy because now you guys are in la la land, back in love and stuff, and your family is just side eyeing them at the cookout, side eyeing them at the family functions, and they're just every little thing they do is going to rub them the wrong way. Look at the way they eat that sandwich. They really think they somebody. Can you believe they wore that? Like what they trying to say? What's up? Like everything's gonna be something like okay, and often family is given a perspective from their own experiences too. Yeah, exactly. So they're like, oh girl, I done been through that. You don't want to do this, and I'm guilty of that with my friends. I'm like, be careful, but I try to be neutral where it's like, well, this is what I experienced, so I would just keep an eye out. But ultimately, it's your decision. Like, I'm gonna support you. Now, if you're in danger, because sometimes love will make you do some really crazy things. Hey, sis. Hey, Desiree. If you're in danger or something like that, then nah. Like, I'm not going easy on you. I'm gonna be like, no, you need to get out of this situation pronto. Like, you need to stop. And it doesn't have to necessarily just be physical danger. It could be emotional as well. Christian, over here lurking in the corner. What's wrong? You hurt your finger? You hurt your finger? Okay, go see grandma so she can fix it. And be careful with the cords. Motherhood never stops, y'all. Be careful with the cords and running down the steps. But yeah. So what was I even saying? I done lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. So they don't get over it. So I remember again with my ex fiance, because me and him have the most stories, the most. Okay, but I have stories with everybody, but obviously my family really knew him the best, and so I remember, y'all, this is going to be so embarrassing, but we're so past this now. Like, I could share this story. So I remember it was my 25th birthday, and my brother always used to host like parties for me because my brother's been in like nightlife promotions, managing clubs, things like that for years, like over 20 years, probably almost 30 years at this point. And so he always used to host a party for me and so one of my best friends at the time. We were 2 days apart. And this year, obviously, I'm with my man. Like, I'm looking cute. I'm like, oh, we finna party all night. Like, it's my night. It's gonna be great. So this is back in the day when I used to drink like a fish, y'all. I drink mixed cocktails now once in a blue moon. This is probably my first drink in like 4 months. So, but needless to say, we're out. I'm lit. Your girl's like, hey, I'm 25. Whoop, whoop. So we leave the club and we leave before my brother because obviously the staff got to clean up. They got to count the registers for the night and just make sure everything's good, get their pay, whatever. And we were so lit that we forgot where we parked. So I'm calling my brother. I'm freaking out. I'm like, I don't know where the car is at. We can't find the car. This, that, the third, da, da, da. He's not answering because he's closing up for the night. So finally we find the car, but my phone's dying. My fiance's phone is dying. And so I'm like, well, I'm going to just take a nap because he was driving, he was better at driving after a lit night than I was. And so I was like, I'm going to take a nap. I texted my brother before my phone was dying. I said, my phone is dying. It might be dead by the time you get out, but we're parked on 7th and M Street or whatever. It was right by the convention center. You can't miss it. I gave landmarks. I gave cross streets, all of that. Like, we know DC like the back of our hands. So he knew where I was. But he was too lit too. So he leaves the club with my other bro. This is a play brother, but he's known me so little. So both my brothers leaving the club and my brother's calling. My phone's dead. I texted him and said it. Finally, I managed to cut on my phone for like a second because I think I had actually shut it off. It wasn't dead. I shut it off. And my fiance at the time shut his off. So I think I cut it on briefly because I was like, okay, it's like 3:30 in the morning. He not even 3:30, it's like 4 a.m. He should be out by now. Like, what's going on? So I see all the missed calls. I see all the text messages. And then finally he calls while the phone is on. I answer. He's just like, where are you at? I've been trying to reach you. Da, da, da. He's going off on my fiance. He's like, you should have been up. You should have been protecting her. Something could have happened. Whoop, whoop, whoop. This is a safe part of town for the most part. Like, there's nothing really going on. And my fiance is a big dude. Like, he's about that life. He stays strapped, he's about that life. He's a big dude. He could literally like pick someone up and break their neck. Like, that's how big of a dude he was in strength and height and all that. And so, needless to say, my brother comes, we're driving, because I think we were all carpooling. We're driving to drop my friend off or something, or for my brother to go to his friend's penthouse, or whatever the case is. And he's going off on my ex-fiance, okay? Because he already didn't like him. So this was like the straw that broke the camel's back. And he didn't like him because he admitted later on he was jealous because he was taking all my attention away. And there were little habits he didn't care for when he came to our house and stuff like that. And so he's going off. He's bringing up old offenses. He's bringing up old things. And he's just yelling at him, cussing. So my ex-fiance is like, you ain't about to talk to me like that. After I done helped you out and your family out, I even helped you with your kids. My brother's all red after that. We pull over on the side of 14th Street. And this is a bougie part of town. There's penthouses, luxury condos, all that. We pull over on the side of 14th Street. My brother gets out. My brother's like 5'7", 5'8" on a good day. Really skinny. My ex is like 6'4", like I said, strapped like Suge Knight, like that type. And he's like, we can fight right now. I'm tired of you, this and that. So they get ready to throw hands. This is going to have to be a whole nother story time video so you get all the details. And I'm in my little black dress trying to split them up. And I'm like, no, don't do it. My other brother is like, nah, stop, chill. Like, it's not that deep. So we finally leave in a cab. This is before Uber and Lyft and all that. We finally leave in a cab, go home. And by morning time, all my family knows what happened on 14th Street. They know about the brawl. They know hands were about to be thrown. They know everything. And they just would not let it go for months. Like, even after we broke up initially, they would not let it go. And they kept holding on to it, holding on to it. Like, remember when he almost fought your brother on 14th Street? What happened? Okay, just put it back on. They're like, remember when he almost fought your brother on 14th Street? I can't believe you still with him, or you stayed with him so long, and this and that. Finally, they got over it. We had to have a whole family meeting. I had to tell them I was ashamed of them for holding it against him because my brother was in the wrong. He should have never came to him. Like, it was too much. It was way too much. But the point is, it took him years to finally get over it. And it took my brother admitting to the fact that he was just like in his brother bag, like, like, oh, he's taking my sister's attention and this and that. But that's a key example of what happens with family. So when y'all have arguments, when y'all have things like that, go to a therapist. Don't go to your family. Don't go to your friends, because trust and believe, they probably going to make it a bigger deal than it needs to be, especially if they're not that hot on the person to begin with. And then they're not going to let it go just like that. They're going to keep bringing it up, and it's just going to keep piling up until it's like, we can't even get past this now because every little thing this person does is too much. A therapist or a counselor is a safe third party. They can't tell your business. Even if they see you in the grocery store or something, they can't be like, oh, so what happened after that argument? Like, they can't bring that stuff up. So it's confidential, and you can really just let loose in the safety of that office. And then when you leave, you can know, like, okay, we talked about it, we got past it, and we're in a better place. Hold on, y'all. I gotta put Christian's Band-Aid on. This child, he's gonna have his own YouTube channel one day. Oh, you need another one because it's stuck. Go get another one from grandma. Go ahead. Go get another one. Y'all, it's just too much. Not the old thing. The old things, okay? He had been holding that joker in. He's like, oh, this is my chance now. Stevie J Hands, like, I'm gonna let it out, because he was just waiting. Like, he didn't care for him for dumb reasons. I mean, some of them I could see why, but it's just like, okay, y'all doing too much. So, needless to say, a therapist provides a safe place for all of that, and they're just there. They're there to help you out. Your brother had heart. Okay, right. He did. I'm like, me and my other brother were looking at him like, really, like the soldier boy face. Like, you really about to fight this dude? Like, it's the liquid courage. They aren't lying when they call it liquid courage. Because I'm like, now you and I know good and well how this is gonna end. But you know what? You're my brother. You want to defend me. I get it. But and then he tried to be like, oh, leave him. Christian, get your head out the camera. You were nowhere to be found during this story. I was not thinking about you. I was living my best life. But you made my life better though. So, but anyways, it's just like, yeah, that was too much. It was way too much. And I'm just like, he tried to get me to leave him on the street. Y'all, I'm gonna have to do a story time about this. And now that I'm talking about it, I'm like, there's so much I'm leaving out for the sake to stay on topic with this live. But needless to say, the point of point 4 is a therapist is a good third party, because family is just, if your family's anything like mine, it can escalate very quickly. So, and my family is not fond of a lot of people. There's probably 1 or 2 people I could count that they liked, and honestly, those guys wasted my time or did me dirty. So I'm like, that's a whole other topic. Should your family get along with who you date? I'm gonna write that down, because there needs to be a live stream. Hold on, y'all. I need to capture these things as I think about it, because I'm not as young as I used to be. Like, who? Because some people are really adamant about this, like, oh, you got to get along with my family, and other people are like, it doesn't matter. But it's worthy of talking about, because my opinion has changed over the years. But I'm gonna talk about that. That'll probably be 2 weeks from now. I don't know. We'll think about it. But anyways, that's point 4. Let me see what Stevie J Hands, Michelle. My brother had the Stevie J Hands. When I was younger and broke up with the ex, my mom asked me if I wanted my brothers to go break his legs. Oh my gosh, mama's about that life. She's like, you ain't about to play with my baby, okay? We pull up around here. My family's like that too, as you can see. We ready anytime, any place. It's whatever you want to do. Like, I'm the saint of the family, and y'all see I'm definitely not your cookie cutter Christian. So that tells you the degree of where my family is at. Okay, because I'm pulling up and I'm the saint, let alone my family. Okay, like, they don't play that. I have one aunt who's a pastor. Other than that, the rest of them are with all the smoke. They like, say less. When and where? When do you need me to show up? It's too funny though. But the 5th, is it the 5th one? Yeah, the 5th point I have is that your mental health needs to be tended to just as much as your physical health. So this goes back to the sentiment that I said, where really I see in the church more so than anywhere else, we still struggle with the concept of therapy and stuff. And I would say within the Black community too, this is still something we're trying to get over. We're doing better, but by and large, we got a long way to go compared to other communities. But we just don't think of mental health as your health, and it's like your mind is a part of your soul. Like your mind is in your body, So it's like outside of what might be checked at a doctor's office, like a physical doctor's office, we don't think of mental health as something that's serious because it's not tangible, if that makes sense. Like, if your leg is broken, you could go get a cast and fix that. If something is found in your cervix, they can do laser treatment and get rid of that or whatever. But it's things that are tangible that can be tangibly seen or whatever. But your mental health, a lot of times it's not tangible. And a lot of times it can't even be seen like that because we think that, like, depression, for instance, has a look that someone's going to be disheveled and, just crying all day, every day and not wanting to leave the house. But a lot of times depressed people are the happiest people you've ever seen. And I say happy with air quotes. They're the life of the party. Be careful. They're cracking jokes. Y'all, I'm over here playing doctor. Which finger is it? All right. And don't take this one off because you always taking the Band-Aids off, trying to redo it yourself. All right, go sit with Auntie and play with your toys. But anywho, yeah, so that's not playing with your toys. But get out of the camera. Yo, you're gonna knock down my laptop. All right. You said hello. Bye. But yeah, like you can go get a cast and fix that stuff, but your mental health is like, we think that it's going to look like someone who's disheveled, that's upset all the time, like literally crying all the time and stuff like that. But a lot of times they look well put together. They're still the life of the party. They're cracking jokes. They're showing up to work. They're doing all these things. And then if the unthinkable happens, like, they go ahead, like a Robin Williams type thing. And you're like, oh my gosh, like they look so happy. Like they were always so jovial and so this or that. But it's like they were really in a dark place and they were using that as a way to like escape or to try to feel better or at least to try to bring joy to other people. And then when the unthinkable happens, then it's like a wake up call. And so we really have to start thinking of our mental health as health, meaning if I have health insurance and I'm going to go ahead and keep up with my checkups and go see my my primary care doctor and my endocrinologist and my OBGYN and my chiropractor or whatever else is included in your insurance or whatever you need to see, whoever you need to see for your health. If I'm going to keep up with that, then why shouldn't I go and seek therapy and make sure that my mind is right? Because again, you might not think anything's wrong with you because you could be like, well, my life is great. I can pay my bills. My family's loving. Everything's good. My boyfriend's making me happy, or my girlfriend, if you're a guy watching this or whatever, like, my partner is making me happy. I'm good to go. Like, I don't need to worry. But in your mind, you could be really holding things in. You could be battling some things that you don't even realize because you're just used to just going and fighting the fires and keeping it moving. That's something like that I have to come to terms with. I'm used to fighting fires so much that a lot of times I don't realize when I like need to grieve, because it's like I don't have the time to. It's like we got to fight the next fire. We got to get to the next thing. And then it all comes to a head when it's like, man, like I'm really over here struggling, like I'm really going through it, So you wouldn't skip out on your physical checkup, so you don't want to skip out on your mental. And therapy, it helps you with that. You want your soul to be in order, mind, body, spirit. You want everything to just be in order. Just like church is our checkup for our spiritual health. That's your weekly, like, let me gather with the saints. Let me, get the accountability that I need. Let me get the word that I need to make it through the week. Let me get that, revelation from God or whatever. But you still need to keep up with it for it to work. Like over time, like when you're a babe in Christ, that weekly service can do what it needs to do, But as you grow and you start getting off the milk, that weekly service is just the tip of the iceberg. I need Bible study. I need small groups. I need weekly church meeting. I need, women's fellowship. I need more. Like I need to drink from the fire hose because church is just that. Church is just that quick little like if you're in the boxing ring of life, church is that, Christian, be careful around this light. Church is that, let me go to my corner of the boxing ring, get wiped down by my coach, get a drink of water, and then keep it pushing. But that day to day, like I need to make it through life, that's where the Bible study and the small groups and all that comes to play. So it's the same thing. Your spiritual life, you keep up with it, or at least some of us try to. You know, everyone's in a different place in their walk. So to each their own. But your mind shouldn't be any different. You need to be feeding your mind the right things, but you also need to be having someone that you can release things off of you and be like, hey, I'm gonna just leave it right here in the therapist or counselor's office. Can't wait for that one. Yeah, like that's a good topic. Y'all really coming with the heat. I love it. I love to see it. Desiree said, hey, Christian. Look, Auntie Desiree said, hey. You want to say hi?
Hi.
Lord have mercy.
It's a duck.
Yeah, it's a duck. Get your finger out of the camera. He sees the StreamYard duck. Yes, quack, quack. Lord, let me ask you, what do you think about dating and therapy? Ask your toddler about dating, parenting in 2021. What do you think about dating and therapy?
Oink, oink.
Oink, oink. That's what he thinks about it. Okay, go play with your ball.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Ooh, be careful.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. So yeah, that's what Christian thinks about it. Oink, oink. I was just talking about this with my boo. He's in therapy and I'm not, but I need it. That's good though. I'm glad that you are actually like talking about it and you're actually open to it. I think that with you doing it, him doing it, and then over time, if y'all find one together, that's gonna really help y'all like just stay in a good place. And even if we're not saying it's not gonna last, because I personally think you're gonna pull up engaged next year. I'm sticking to it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But let's say it doesn't. I just think it's gonna get you in a better place, and I think that you'll be able to even end as friends. Because like I said, me and my ex-fiance, we stayed friends for a while. Now we're not all hunky-dory and friends, so that's another story for another day. But it helped us to just have that deep connection no matter what happened. It's like, yeah, like it helped us, and it brought us closer together. Little kids with band-aids are hilarious. Right, always pulling it off. And he likes to take the band-aids out the cabinet under the bathroom at home, under the bathroom sink. And he's like, oh, I'm hurt. I need a Band-Aid. Oh, I'm hurt. I'm like, you are not hurt. You don't need a Band-Aid. Like, stop wasting the Band-Aids, because he loves them. But he didn't even cut his finger for real. It looks like he just kind of slammed it on the edge of the counter, because they have a really big island here. I forgot to do the house tour. I'm going to have to tape that for my vlog. But they have a really big island here, and he was playing with his little police car toy set that I bought, where you make like the little city. They got the stop sign, the house, the police station, the police car. Yes, stop. That's what the police says. So, yeah, that's what he's doing. He looks just like you. Oh, my God. I know, right? Now I'm slowly but surely starting to see it. When he was first born, I was like, you look like your grandmother and your father. Like, I had no parts in this. I was just a vessel in which you came through. But now he's slowly but surely growing into my face. But him and my mom still are twins, and they're two peas in a pod. They fuss at each other, but they love each other. Like, they'll fuss at each other all day, and then he'll go sleep in her bed at night. I'm just like, y'all are so toxic. It's not even funny. It's not even funny how toxic y'all are. Too cute. Shay, come get your nephew, because I'm tired. He's been cutting up on this trip. And I've been letting him, because I'm like, it's your birthday trip. And when we get back home, back to business, sir. But he hasn't been too bad. I took him to breakfast this morning, and everybody was like, oh, my gosh, she's so cute, this and that, the third. So, yeah, Goo Mom. Yes, I love those house tours. Yes. I meant to tape it this morning, but we woke up late to go to breakfast, and I took him and my mom to the Pinpoint Heritage Museum, which if you've been watching my videos, like if you're new here on the replay or anything, I did a vlog on that museum in July when we came here for my sister's birthday, but they didn't go on that trip. That was like our ladies' day. So I was like, let me take them so they could see. So I didn't even get to do the tour, but I'm going to do it. I have my LED light. I can always put that on my camera and do the tour, because I do want you guys to see it. This house is gorgeous. Really? Really? Yeah. But anywho, y'all, so those are my points. I'm going to read them again. So this is what I think. My overarching opinion is that you should be in therapy, period. Dating or not, but if you are dating, that at some point you should get a couples therapist. You each should have your own, and then you should get a therapist as a couple, so you can come together and bring your grievances to that therapist and in front of each other. Because that's another thing too. We run and tell other people what our grievances are, but we don't tell the person who we have the grievance with. And then it becomes like, Christian, really? Then it becomes this big elephant in the room. So it's like, bring it to the person first so you guys can work it out as a couple, and then take it to your therapist. But don't go running telling everybody the problems you have with that person, but you're not telling them, so they don't get a chance to fix it. But my talking points were, We all have traumas and things we need to deal with, even if you feel like your life was pretty calm, cool, and collected. That's point number one. Point number two is that you have a responsibility to play in your healing journey and then finding joy. So you can't just expect your partner to make you happy and that's it. Like you have to make yourself happy and they should just add on to it. They should be the cherry on top. But you can't look to them to be your everything because it's too much. Yeah. The third talking point is therapy helps with self-awareness. And I gave this the story of my ex-fiance and I, how we just really realized a lot about ourselves and each other in therapy. It was really good and like a journey of self-awareness. My fourth point is hold on, let me make sure. Oh, therapy provides a safe and secure outlet. So you don't have to have a story like me where your brother's fighting your man in the street because they're mad about something that's just been piling up. Like, because family, they ain't never gonna get over it. You guys gonna get past it. And they're gonna be like, well, we're holding on to this forever, you know. And the comments prove that, and I even admitted to it myself. And the fifth point is your mental health needs to be tended to just as much as your physical health. So just as you wouldn't neglect a pain in your body or something that's not right in your body, you won't neglect or you shouldn't neglect something that's wrong with your mental health. Like nip it in the bud early, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like the stigma, thankfully nowadays is slowly but surely going away, but we still have a long ways to go. So I want to hear that story time. I know let me add that to my list right now. I got a whole list of story times, y'all. I got like 12 to 15. I can't remember exactly how many, but I was like, let me write them down because I know you guys have been saying that you want to hear my story times more because I was doing them a lot when I started my channel, and then I stopped because I was like, okay, I'm gonna get other content up. But y'all, let me count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and this is gonna be the 14th one. So this will make 14 story time ideas. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
really?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yay, good job. But I was like, I have a lot of stories. And some of them I can't tell because honestly, I'm gonna just be real with y'all. Like I've been seeing this trend going around on YouTube where people are telling their thought stories. And I'm just like, you know, some of these stories are juicy. I can't even lie. But I'm just not willing to put myself out there like that. So, you know, not that I've been out here thotting and bopping, but, you know, we all have a past. We all have made some dumb decisions when it comes to dating and things. And I'm like, granted, some of them would be juicy. But I'm like, that's just going to have to stay between me and God because I can't. Like, I can't even do it. Can't even do it, y'all. But yeah, that's going to be an upcoming story time. So I got 14 planned. But other than that, that's all that I have for tonight. So if you guys don't have any other closing thoughts or opinions or anything, I'm going to go ahead and do these announcements. So like I said, we're almost at 1K. Sign in from all your Google accounts. Make a Google account and subscribe. You know, let everybody know because all I need people to do is hit subscribe. Once I get to 1K, I am doing another cash giveaway. So when I hit 500, I did $150 cash giveaway. I think I'm either going to do 150 or 200. This time, I'm not sure if I'm going to just let it be one winner or two. I kind of want to let it be two winners, but we'll see. This giveaway will be open for the U.S. and Canada and the U.K. as well. The first one was only for the U.S. And I will know if you're not in the U.S. So I had a lot of people trying to slip in the cracks. And it's like, no, sirree, I know when you're not in the U.S. I could tell. I got the eye for that. You know, I don't blame you. Okay, listen. So that's the first announcement. The second announcement is that tomorrow my mom won't be live because we will be traveling back to Atlanta. Unfortunately, it's so peaceful here. I love Savannah and Tybee Island. Like this is becoming my new getaway. And honestly, a lot of people are moving from Atlanta. Let me not say a lot. I'm seeing a trend of people moving from Atlanta to Savannah for like a more chill peace of mind and stuff like that. And I can see why. Like it's hard to not want to come back here. The geography, the neighborhood, everything. This time we're actually on Tybee Island, so it's even more chill, even more calm, even more serene than Savannah itself. But it's just really, really pretty and really, really calm. And there's celebrities got homes on this island too. Like Sandra Bullock got a home on Tybee Island. It really is like a little getaway that a lot of people don't really know about yet. And I love that. It's not over commercialized. But so no live tomorrow. And sorry I didn't do the other morning motivation on Wednesday. Wednesday I was tired. Like I took a long nap on Wednesday and then we went to dinner. I'm saying Wednesday like it was so long ago. Yesterday. I took a nap yesterday and then we went to dinner. But yeah, sorry for that. I didn't do it. It just came to my mind earlier before I hopped on this live. I was like, oh snap. But next week we'll be back to business. So next week, Monday, everything will be back to normal and we'll be good to go. Other than that, like I said, just it's the March to 1K. And then my mom's channel, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to Mama Martin's Kitchen and Home. And other than that, I want to go one day. I've never been to the Georgia coast. It is so gorgeous out here. It's really, really pretty. And I love the fact that the beaches are pretty much still local. Like Tybee Island, I think is the biggest beach here. But you've got so many different islands. You got like what's another one that we passed? I think Wilmington Island. And some of these are in South Carolina technically. The Fusky Island, Pinpoint Island is like a private, not even private, but it's like really uninhabited. It's literally just the locals, and that's more like grasslands and swampy. But it's really pretty. It's like I don't know if you guys ever seen Their Eyes Are Watching God with all like the weeping willow trees and the palmetto trees and just the Spanish moss and all that. Like you see a lot of that here. And even where we're staying, there's a private beach to the back here, but it's off a fishing pier, and the sand looks like it drops more drastically. So we went to North Beach, but it's really, really pretty and it's affordable, and it's just local, just so nice here. Listen, Savannah and Tybee Island, the whole Georgia coast. If you want to boost to your ego, come here, because every single time it never fails. Like as soon as I pull up in a gas station or across the border into the city limits or whatever, I'm getting compliment after compliment after compliment. I mean, just literally like, you're so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I love your makeup. Wow, I love your hair. You are so pretty. Like everywhere, men, women, children, everyone complimenting me. I'm like, I feel like a celebrity. When we came in summertime, I was taking so many pictures for content and stuff, and people would stop me on the street and I could take your picture. They probably thought I was a celebrity because my sister was taking my picture with my camera, and my brother's girlfriend was taking my picture with her camera, and then video footage, and she was stopping like fix my hair and arrange my outfit and stuff. So they're probably like, who is this chick? Like she got a whole crew walking around with her, taking her picture, you know. But I literally had people stopping traffic for me. Like I'm sure many of you who follow my Instagram see that shot on my profile where I'm in the middle of the street and I'm kind of like smiling like this, and I got an African print skirt on. I'm in the middle of the street in that picture, and cars stopped for me to get the photo, and nobody was rushing. Like, I mean, I took a couple of shots. They were like, take your time. It's okay. You want me to take it for you? Like, I can pull over and take it. It's so nice here. I love the hospitality. I absolutely love it. Everyone's super friendly, and they sound, honestly, when you come here, you hear like almost like a New Orleans kind of accent. It's not as strong, but the way they pronounce words is very similar to New Orleans. And maybe they do have a lot of New Orleans residents here. Maybe they do have a lot of New Orleans natives here or something. I don't know, but the accent is similar to that. And I'm just like, wow, like it's awesome. So it would be my dream to own a beach home here one day, or heck, probably even move here and vacation in Atlanta. I might swap, live in Savannah and vacation in Atlanta type thing. I don't know, but it's just really nice here. I would love to at least have a beach home. Yes, it's a crew for me. I be walking around here looking like I'm really a celebrity, y'all, and I haven't even hit 1K yet. Can you imagine when I'm at 100K? When I'm actually like in the hundreds, plus of the million, I'm legit gonna have a camera crew at that point. They're gonna be like, oh, she's for real celebrity. I'll probably be stopping. People probably be stopping me and asking for pictures, which I wouldn't mind. I always said when I blow up, I'm gonna be that type of YouTuber or whoever that you can stop and ask for an autograph, a picture. Like I love that. I want to connect with my subscribers. Even now, if you see me out and about, ask for a picture. I know I have an RBS, but I promise you, I won't be mean. I will take a picture with you. I'll chat with you, whatever. So never be shy. But that's it, y'all. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for the conversation. I don't know what my live is going to be about next week. Honestly, it's probably going to be a prayer and Bible study because I should have done that today, but I wanted to cover this topic. And then the week after, I think I'm going to talk about what I just wrote down. Should family getting along with your mate be something you look for or whatever? So y'all have a good night. I will see you on Monday. Again, nothing tomorrow. I might pop on live briefly tomorrow, but nothing serious. But I'll see y'all Monday. And have a good weekend. Stay safe. You want to say bye?
Bye. Happy me. Happy me. Bye.
Bye, y'all. Have a good one.